If not, either way, we're back on the air. Listen, my dad is playing a role in suing the Wilmington Police Department for abusing the Fourth Amendment rights of citizens of Wilmington specifically. And it's unfortunate, but it's, the ACLU is not going to bring a case if there's not something to stand on. And all I hope is that justice is served for any of the people who were abused. And as someone who just released a very, almost gruesome video about police brutality, specifically in Wilmington, we all hear these stories, and you hear them over and over again, and it's very easy to verify stories and apparently, clearly bring them to the table of justice. And it would be nice if this ultimately results in positive change, because in as much as there is clearly a problem, I do believe that things can be better. And I just, applaud my dad for the work that he always does for the NAACP, but I say NAACP. And the ACLU, this is why you guys are needed, and I just hope that justice is found.
Yeah. Okay. Is this?
That's part of the same thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, y'all already know Jay's pop is the bomb. And anytime he go out there and put his neck on the line, it's for good reason. So we'll be following the story, and you'll be updating us.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to do a quick Halloween-ish haunted places in Delaware.
Okay.
Because I thought this was really cool.
I'm burning up now, so keep going. Yeah, I can only do this for so long. In the jacket under lights.
So there was a few places in the Delaware area that have haunted reviews. So, okay, one of them is Dead President's Tavern.
Oh yeah, that's a good spot. You know what that is? It's right on Union Street. They have good Guinness, and they have good they have Guinness on tap and Jameson, and that's one of my comfort zones. So,
well, apparently they've got good ghosts too.
Oh, okay. The
So,
ghost is with the mostest.
Visitors have reported hearing laughter at night while closing up the building. Other reports include objects being moved on their own, the temperature dropping suddenly, and the feeling of a heavy presence.
That must be because I walked in the room, even though I don't have on my Vampire of Wilmington teeth.
Some believe it is a former visitor to the tavern who died after he slipped and broke his neck there. Damn.
Like, he just petty. Like, I'm never forgetting this. I'm gonna stay here forever and ever.
You know why? Because they didn't have no insurance to cover it.
But why you don't want to just go home and like heal up? You know what I'm saying? And like be done with it. Move on, player. You can't sue him.
So the next one is Rockwood Mansion in Wilmington. This English-style estate and museum was built in the 1850s and is believed to be one of Delaware's haunted destinations. Paranormal reports here include cold spots, disembodied voices.
It sounds like somebody got the flu and is having hallucinations, but that's all I'm saying.
Wait a minute. What is disembodied voices? Your voice.
So it would be like the voice of someone who's had their organs taken out.
Do you have a voice if your organs taken out? You did.
Well, if you can imagine what that would sound like.
I can't. I have my organs.
That's what I imagined. That's my mind's ear. That's what they hear at Rockwood Mansion. The disembodied voices.
Oh my God. And a man's apparition. What is that?
Like a ghost, like an actual ghost.
So why did they just say ghost?
Because people want to sound fancy. It's like a man specifically, probably cisgender. And you gotta specify with these ghosts nowadays. Like that ghost, identifies as okay, sorry.
Shut your damn mouth.
I'm on
Oh
tonight.
my
Go ahead.
God.
Yep.
All right, another one is Bellevue Hall.
Mm-hmm.
This historic building operates as a banquet hall and is said to be haunted by several spirits. They're all doing the boogie oogie. Oh,
When I think of spirits,
God.
I think of tequila. I think of
So do
I
they.
think of whiskey. You know what
So
I'm
do
saying?
they.
Vodka, rum, but yeah.
All right. The next one
Oh my gosh, how many do you have?
is
Go ahead.
Krabby Dick's Sterling Hotel. A seafood restaurant and dates back to 1830. This restaurant is said to be home to something eerie, which witnesses have confirmed along with a paranormal investigation that also backed up the claim.
Boobies will give you a crabby dick.
Oh! Oh! I can't. You know what? It's time to go. It's time to pack up. It's time to pack up and leave. So those are a couple places that you can visit if you trying to get your ghoul on and see what's happening out here in these ghost streets. Me, I'm not going. Now that I know the dead presidents is haunted, you won't see me there. But go enjoy yourself.
That's a really good spot.
You will. That's great. I'll be outside. Listen, because I ain't going. Last thing I need is to be haunted by the ghost and then run outside, slip and fall, and break my neck and die and be the next ghost.
You know what the cow said? My next move is my next move.
I'm calling the police.
done.
I'm calling the police.
Well, I don't think my dad kind of, you know what I mean?
I'm going to Newcastle and I'm calling the police. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the fight real quick?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let me pull up the video first.
Okay.
I've been excited to talk about this one. This is a big deal to me. So on Saturday actually, here in the States, because it happened in Saudi Arabia, there was a boxing match between Francis Ngannou, he vacated his UFC heavyweight championship belt in order to go independent with, I think, the PFL. And he used this opportunity to really meet his own dream of boxing a top-tier boxer. And he had a boxing match against Tyson Fury. And I think any boxing expert and anyone who follows the sport will tell you that, number one, he's one of the greats of his generation and one of the great heavyweights of all time. He's this giant, almost 7-foot man who is extremely heavy. He has this terrible, quote-unquote, terrible build that looks like he can't move at all. And he moves with the same agility as someone my size, and it's really weird to see. So just in that is a story, right? But what Francis Ngannou has done with his life and ultimately with this fight, and this is, mind you, someone whose trajectory is still going up and up and up. This man, at every single place where it looks like it's absolutely going to be impossible for him to be success, every time it's like, no, there's no way he can do this. He finds a way to do it. And this is a man who started training MMA at the age of 26, which is wildly old to start a sport like that. Without going into a whole lot of detail, just as one thing, like I trained Muay Thai, never took a fight, but I trained Muay Thai. And in order to really get yourself prepared to like kick someone with your shins, it takes 4 to 5 years just to get your shins hard enough so that you can really wail on somebody without messing up your own shins.
Jesus.
So, you know, there's a long process, and the fact that he got along really, really far, really, really fast, just within the UFC is amazing. And if you know his story about, number one, fighting just to escape Cameroon, fighting to escape Africa, fighting to then somehow end up homeless in France, like under the most dangerous circumstances, he managed to escape to get to France and be homeless, and found someone who would just let him basically live in the gym and start to train at the age of 26. He leveraged that and worked his tail off and became the UFC heavyweight champion by beating the crap out of a really talented fighter. You could end the story there, right? And just be like, yo, what an incredible story. But nope. He decides that what he's going to do is say, you know what, you guys aren't paying me enough, so I'm going to go independent and see what I can do. And everyone laughed at him like, dude, you can't do any better than what your current situation is. And he signed this ridiculously lucrative deal with an independent, smaller organization that set up this fight with Tyson Fury. And at the end of the day, again, everyone is like, listen, he's an incredible UFC fighter, but that is not the sweet science of boxing. And as soon as he takes his first professional boxing match ever, imagine you take now he's fought before and he's trained, but imagine your first real professional boxing match is against one of the greatest of all times.
Right.
No way. There's no way. No one with any amount of common sense would be like, maybe. He hits hard, he's strong, but like there's a certain skill set, right? By Saturday night, he lost by split decision, and everyone from boxers to MMA people are like, yo, he got robbed. He won. I'm going to show you a brief clip of his knockdown, because he knocked down Fury. That was the only knockdown. He never got knocked down, never got hurt. There were some places where he kind of lost in points, but I'll let you all see the knockdown.
Oh, he catches him off guard! Francis Ngannou has just scored a knockdown!
Ngannou right here. Fury throwing the left hook right hand from a little bit too close, from mid-range. Look at this big left hook by Ngannou, just standing his ground, sitting, biting down on his mouthpiece.
Now,
He's from Africa?
he's from Cameroon. Yeah. And he showed a high level of boxing. And even there's so many twists of the story. He was at least to a degree trained by Mike Tyson. And Tyson Fury was named after Mike Tyson by Tyson Fury's dad. So now you have this additional story where the man is fighting his dad's hero. He's not fighting his dad's hero, but he's being trained by his, and it's like, it was an incredible thing. But Francis showed real boxing ability and went toe to toe with a gifted athlete. And by all accounts, outside of what the judges said, he won. And so now, what he's done, if you think about it, is, number one, he's already flipped the UFC on side of its head. Like he said to all you fighters, like, yo, you can take this move too if you want to. It's risky, but look what happened to me. And he's now flipped the boxing world on its head, because no one thought that it was possible that he would even stand in there. Like McGregor tried to fight Mayweather, and at the end of the day, Mayweather just outclassed him.
That was a horrible fight.
And you know, they're like Mayweather and Tyson Fury, like they're both high level boxers, and McGregor is a good boxer, but he looked
Not
like
that night.
but that was the argument. It's like, if you saw a guy who's good at boxing look like an amateur next to an all-time great.
Right. So
how in the world did Ngannou manage to not look like that? And it's absolutely unbelievable what he was able to do. And now he has so many choices because of his courage of making these decisions to be free. And the next thing that he could do is, long story short, going to make him tens of millions of dollars, if not more.
how much did he make on this one?
I don't know, but probably, I'm going to say around 10 million, you know what I'm saying? And that amount, like...
Who won't beat me up?
Come on. Tremendously much more money than he would make with the UFC.
My God.
And he's in control of his own career. So the man is a hero, and he's an unbelievable athlete, and by all accounts, a good guy, too. So what happened with that fight was unbelievable, and it's going to be so interesting to see what he does, because right now, it doesn't look at all like he's slowing down. And he, God forbid he, gets another solid year of real boxing training in. Like, this guy, he's an unbelievable human being, and it's so cool to witness what he's doing, because he's an all-time, what he did was historic, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you are on the TikToks and the interwebs, you may or may not have heard of Keith Lee. Keith Lee is on TikTok primarily, and he is a self-made food critic. So I've seen a couple of his videos where he goes to different restaurants and he does like a critique on the food, but also about the service and like the how the food looks and then all that. Like what we do as amateurs when we go to eat and we're like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. Long story short, he has tons of followers. Well, recently there has been debate online because he went on this food tour in Atlanta, and some of his reviews were towards restaurants that people found to be super popular. And you had half of the people really like, he's completely right. And it takes someone, to call them out on their mess because no one else really has the voice to do it. And then you had the restaurateurs and, other food critics and things who were saying he's not qualified to even have this conversation. One restaurant in particular, I can't remember the name of it, he did a review on them, and I think it was their service, and they responded with basically this tasteless video of like, who are you? And my thing is, oh, it's doing it again.
Oh man, what?
Hold
I
on.
gotta solve this problem. It's a brand new problem. This is so weird.
Yeah.
What in the world? I'm gonna change capture cards. Maybe that might be the problem. Maybe I don't.